Carmela, this was the right call. Oh. Half a million ISK. Half a million ISK in the bank. This is Carmela, 200 DPS of terror, hot off the assembly lines at the Workomi Corporation factory. But entirely with Tech 1 and meta modules, she's a low-sec belt-ratting machine, and she's going to bring us in the ISK that we need to buy a blueprint for a Thorax, our first cruiser. At the same time, by looting and reprocessing the modules of Carmela's prey, we'll be collecting the minerals that we need to build that ship. It's been a long time coming, and we're ready to get this process rolling. Let's go, Carmela. Let's see what this little gift-wrapped parcel has for us. Here we go. 1600 millimeter rolled tungsten compact plates. What do you reprocess? Oh, there we go. See? See? This 17,000 units. We'll get 8.5 out of it from that one module. How about a large armor transfer? We'll get 2,000 out of that. Okay, not much out of that, but still. This is why we couldn't try and grind up these the Iskin minerals for the Thorax in Angela. Just line up those battleships and knock them down, and every one of those battleships is going to have modules in it that are just full to the brim of tritanium. We're going to get the fires on our kiln, get them blazing. We're going to be tossing things in there like crazy, if we can find more battleships. I'm really surprised. We're in a 0.2 system. I thought that they'd be at every belt. You know what? I want to do this hideaway for old time's sake. Let's bring 208.1 DPS to a Serpentis hideaway and just see how quickly we can mop the floor with it. For sure, it's going to take us far longer to fly over to these frigates than it will for us to run the whole site. If these guys will fly towards us, which they are a little bit, yeah, just fly to me. Fly to me, so I can kill you. One shot. Blap. Insta-blap. Oh good, they're generating close by. That's welcome. I feel like I should ungroup my guns. I feel like it's wasteful to shoot 8 blasters at these guys when 4 would probably do it. Carmela, I couldn't be happier. Oh god, this guy's faction! That was a faction cruiser. A faction explosive armor hardener. And faction ammo. And a tag that we won't be able to do anything with. Oh, we killed our first faction ship. That's so exciting. And an explosive armor hardener too. That's like the most useful of them all. A clone soldier. This will be an interesting test. I think we're going to be able to do this. Okay, he's hitting us pretty good. We're going to have to manually spiral in. He's missing us now. Oh, okay. Once we get into like 1,000 meters into our tight orbit, he will not be hitting us. We just need to not take too much damage on the way in. Oh, bounced off an asteroid. Not ideal. Bounced off another. But we've made it in, I think. Oh, no, that's flying too close. Okay. We hit orbit too early, and our auto-orbit trajectory came pretty much straight on. But now we're settling in. Our angular velocity is almost 30. He will not be able to hit us. We're doing good damage to him. He's going to be armor tanked, though. Yeah, that's a good tank. A solid tank he has there, but we're breaking it. Now the main loot these guys drop are tags, which can be turned in to increase your security status. We're not particularly concerned about our security status since we can't operate in high sec anyways. The tags sell for a fair bit on the market, but obviously we can't do that. So I'm not sure if hunting clone soldiers is really the way forward for us. It's a great way for new players to make ISK if they can sell the tags. The 1.25 million bounty, I guess it's worthwhile. Like I said, it's two plus battleships. So we will kill these guys whenever we see them. Now that we know we can. Carmela. How we've moved up in the world. I'm not sure if they drop modules as well. They might. I don't think they drop faction modules. No, just the tag. Tag's 2.5 million. Not for us, though. Alright, on to Angatili. I'm curious to find out what Carmela can't do. This is Bill. Bill wants to build a Cynabal and join the Angel Cartel cause in Zarzak, but he's not making it easy on himself. Status update. It's been 2 days since we flew from Dysa out to Minar and Angela the Slasher, having packed in our satchel 66,000 tritanium and 75 million ISK, with a stated goal of building that nest egg up to the 83.5 million ISK and 585,000 tritanium that we'll need to build a Thorax. So far, we've managed to get ourselves into this situation. We have 66.5 million ISK. We have 2,000 tritanium. Obviously, building Carmela the Catalyst put a little bit of a dent in our tritanium and our ISK. And since we've built Carmela, we've been flying around like a cowboy, blam, 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 all kinds of new firsts. But keeping her fed with ammo has been a constant drain on our tritanium supplies. So I feel like everything we've done so far with Carmela, fun as it's been, has been sort of flying off half-cocked. It's time to whole cock it in a methodical manner. So we have built, overnight, 13,000 units of antimatter charge S. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill Carmela up with nothing but 10,000 units of antimatter. We're going to head out to the belts, and we are going to bam, 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 bam. We're going to blast as many cruisers, battle cruisers, and battleships as we can. No pausing in between, just one after the other, line them up, knock them down, and we're going to do it until we run out of ammo or until I run out of time. It is 14:55 mark. We are going to track the amount of tritanium that we acquire, and we will also track how much ammo it took us to get it. Let's fly. While we watch this montage of Carmela's rampage through the belts of every shore, I wanted to point out that though the reasons we're here now are tied up in the particularities of our challenge, and though it took us weeks to get here to buy the BPOs and build Carmela and be ready to kill NPC battleships, this basic activity, lowsec belt ratting and a destroyer, killing battleships, killing clone soldiers, killing the occasional faction rat, is totally viable for a new day 2 or day 3 player. Destroyers are cheap and disposable, and you have the skills to fly them basically right out of the gate. And the ISK you can earn ratting in lowsec is pretty substantial, not to mention that you can make a small mint in modules and tags if you're not restricted from selling them on the market. And with a destroyer, lowsec isn't nearly as scary as it might be in a larger ship. You're more agile at gates, and you have some GTFO potential if people land on your belts. So consider giving it a shot if you're new to the game. At the very least, it's more rewarding and more profitable than, say, level 2 missions in high sec. Oh, ding! I think that might be our first 1 million ISK bounty tick. And our cargo hold's full, so let's head back home and do an accounting. Okay, it is 15:45. We've been exactly 50 minutes, and we're back in Manar with a full cargo hold. That's not our cargo hold. This is our cargo hold. valued at 13 million ISK, which is nice, but that's not what really matters to us. What matters to us is how much is worth in titanium. But we've got 2 of these compact warp disruption field generators, which is a great sign. So let's take a look. We have used 2,197 antimatter charge S, 2,600, give or take. So each antimatter charge S requires 2 titanium to build. So that's 5,200 titanium that this 50-minute outing has cost us. Now, if we reprocessed everything, except for the ammo, obviously, we would net 130,000 titanium. So actually, we are earning quite a lot more than we're burning in ammo. Unless we just got lucky. Unless we just got lucky with those 2 disruption field generators and also the heavy grappler, and then this large gun, which all by itself reprocesses to 15,000 titanium. But still, I'm taking this as a sign that this plan might work. Of course, part of the problem is that we don't end up reprocessing everything. Like, for example, we're going to save this medium neutron gun for our thorax, and we found another small blaster, light neutron blaster. Now, it's going to be a question to see if we can fit it, because the neutron blasters use up more power grid than the ion blasters that we were building, and we only had 1 to spare. Requires 9.12 power units, but only 9 of the 84 are available. So we're 0.12 power units short of being able to fit this. If we skill up, advanced weapon upgrades, eventually we'll get there. Or if we find a compact afterburner. But for now, sadly, as much as we would like to, we're not going to be able to fit this meta gun. Okay, I'm going to make a fresh cup of coffee, and then we'll go out and do another similar run and see if our actual titanium earning rate is what 125,000 we netted, or 50 minutes is 2,500 per minute. So see if we're actually netting 2,500 titanium per minute or not. It's 16:22. I have a full cup of coffee. Carmela has another 10,000 rounds of antimatter charge S in her hold. Time for another ratting outing, and then when we get back, we will do our best to calculate an estimate of our true trip per hour. I honestly can't recommend this highly enough. I mean, people talk about high-end PvE content in the game, they talk about running anomalies, level 4 missions, D&D sites, wormholes, abyssals. But even on my main, with 12 years of skills and experience and a whole hangar full of fancy ships, I still love coming out to the lowsec belts, usually in something that's PvP fit, and just cruising around and seeing what I can find. There's honestly not much content in the game that's as easy to just hop into, even if you only have 10 or 15 minutes, and it's reliably rewarding, and sometimes you find some really exciting surprises. And I mean, it's pretty, it's relaxing, meditative almost. Even if Eve's a grind sometimes, it doesn't have to be a grind, you know? Whether you're new or old in this game, just take some time to appreciate the simple pleasures like an exploding Dominix in an empty asteroid belt. It really is beautiful. Another clone soldier. We know what to do. We're old hands at this now. Fly in close, get under his guns, stop taking damage, blap blap blap. 2 million ISK in the bank when you consider the bounty risk modifier. Not to mention the tag. I mean, we'd be making bank off these guys if we weren't doing the challenge. GG. Easy. Oh, and there's a Hecate on scan, and he's on short scan. I'm just going to line out and see what he does. This might well be the end of us ratting in Gruthis for now. Maybe he'll move on. Maybe he's just about to leave system. Maybe we can kill these guys after all? Oh, he's on very short. And he's landing on grid. See you later. We're out here. Our hold's pretty much full anyways, so maybe we'll take this as a sign to head back to Minar. Okay, filling up our cargo hold took slightly longer that time, and we burned through slightly more antimatter charge S, 3500. So let's see if we reprocess all this. Our hold loot is valued at 16 million this time because of a clone soldier tag, but that of course is meaningless to us. What is meaningful is how much tritanium we would get if we reprocessed all of this. 140,000, about the same, 136,189. Okay, so that was a little bit more than an hour. The previous one was a little bit less than an hour, but it looks like we're getting a pretty consistent return here. So let's sit down with a spreadsheet and figure out what our trip per hour actually is. Yes, it has come to this. I am screencasting LibreOffice Calc. I've entered in all of the data from our two ratting outings, the tritanium that we pulled in modules, the ISK that we earned from bounties, as well as the tritanium that we essentially used up by shooting the ammo. And I've used that information to calculate our net tritanium per hour and our net ISK per hour. The tritanium per hour includes the removal of the tritanium that will be required to build replacement ammo. And the numbers that we come up with are 129,000 tritanium per hour and 4.7 million ISK per hour. Our tritanium especially, and sort of our ISK, seemed pretty consistent between the two runs, so I think that neither of them are crazy outliers, and these two numbers are probably within the ballpark of our true hourly earning figures. So, given that we currently have, after reprocessing most of this material, 246,000 tritanium and 75 million ISK, and given that up here, the goals that we need to achieve in order to build our thorax and buy the blueprints is 83.5 million ISK and 585,000 tritanium, we can calculate how many hours of routing it will take for us to reach these goals. And it's going to be just a little bit under 2 for the ISK and a little bit under 3 for the tritanium. As we expected, we'll reach the ISK goal first. 3 hours of routing is approachable. Tomorrow's the weekend. I think that we can stick to this game plan. And there's one other thing that's worth noting, which is that we've actually looted 6 medium blasters so far on these routing outings, which means that we don't even need to build the heavy ion blaster 1. We don't need to buy the blueprint. We don't need to build the 5 heavy ion blasters that we were originally planning to. So we can do that, and our spreadsheet just straight updates. We now only have 1.5 hours to our ISK goal and 2.5 hours to our trit goal. That seems approachable. Let's see how it actually plays out. Another level of advanced weapon upgrades is trained. So we can fit the 2 small meta blasters that we have now, which we couldn't fit before because we were so tight on power grid. Regulated light ion blaster, and no, that's Tech 1. And anode light neutron blaster. Can we group these? Anode light ion, limited light neutron, light ion blaster 1, regulated light ion, anode light. Right. So not one of our meta blasters matches any one of the others, which means this is going to be absolute hell on the hotkeys. Hopefully soon we loot some matching guns. Let's see what our DPS looks like now. 239.6. I accept. All right, let's get to it. This is a 0.2 security clone soldier. They do get a transporter. They do get progressively tougher in lower security status. So just because we were able to take out the guy in 0.3 space does not necessarily mean we can handle this. He's webbing us. That is not a good sign. But he's not pointing us, so we start taking too much damage, we should be able to get out of here still. Oof, that was a big hit. Okay, I think we're almost under his guns. I mean, he's missing us now. The question is, can we get the last little bit in there? The last little bit of distance we need in order to start actually hitting him. I think we've got this. Enter our orbit. Perfect. 1.5 million SMUT on this guy. And it couldn't be more straightforward. Oh, he does have loot. Another medium blaster. And a tag worth 37 million ISK, but nothing to us, again. Oh, we just looted a micro warp drive. I think a small micro warp drive? Where is it? Yeah, right there. Awesome. We might put that on. 4.6 million in one tick. 4.6 million. All right. Pretty dank, Carmela. Pretty dank. We looted 5MN compact micro warp drive. Now we don't have enough power to put it on, but if we pull our armor rep, we can online it, and we can put on another damage mod. Most of the time, we have not been getting out of shield anyways, so I feel like we can probably survive belt ratting, where we're fighting only like maximum 3 guys at a time without a rep. We're going to try it. We'll spend less time getting into our tight orbit, and we'll kill them faster with 2 damage mods. So, gank equals tank, right? Give it a shot. We now go 1,610 meters per second. Instead of like 600. We have to remember to turn the micro warp drive off when we get into our tight orbit, though. And let's see how much the increased signature hurts us. Certainly doing a lot of damage. But we're taking a fair bit too, because we don't have the AB. See, we're getting into armor now, and we don't have any way to repair it. There's a station here, though. Let's see how annoying having to dock up to rep ends up being. Oh, another gun. I think it's a 6th different type. Let's see what gun we picked up there. Modal light ion particle. Anode light ion particle. Limited light neutron. Regulated light ion phase. Anode light neutron. Yep, a whole new type of gun. Wait, this guy's been an epithal. Is he about to warp to a planet? We're going to refit to a warp scram. This might be crazy. Here's the thought process. An epithal is a hauler, entirely defenseless, and its sole purpose is carting around planetary interaction goods and command centers. We need a bunch of PI to build our Cynabal, and if we can catch this epithal on a planet and destroy it, we might be able to loot from its wreck some of the PI we need, shortcutting our entire process. He may have gone to the state. He may have gone to K-Bar. He may have gone to K-Bar, or he may have gone to the gate. We're in pursuit. Chances are he went to the gate. But if he warped to K-bar at 0... we warp faster than him. We might have beat him here. Still in system. Epithal is slow to warp. Not this slow, though. Didn't warp to that planet. We're going to see if maybe he gave us the fake out by warping to a safe spot in the direction of that planet and then going to one of the other planets. He might have docked up. I think he gave us the slip. Okay, so we chased a Epithal around for a hot minute, hoping to get our first PvP kill, but it was not to be. And now, before we go back out ratting some more, we are going to call this double mag stab and MWD fit a bust. Maybe we can stick double mag stab. Maybe we'll try that again in a little bit. But the MWD, the Sig Bloom is too much. And then we're in close. If we don't have the AB to give us the extra velocity while we're in orbit, we just take too much damage. So the combination of not having an active tank and being so much more vulnerable just to incidental damage from, cruisers, and then even the frigates. The frigates were giving us trouble. So we are going back to AB and the ACM, I think it was called. Yeah, small ACM. However, we also have yet another new gun of a whole nother different type. Where is it? Modal light ion. That's the guy. There we go. Now we're down to just 3 grouped weapons and 5 weapons, which cannot be grouped. But our DPS has risen to 245.2. I'll take it. Our unmatched gun situation is getting a little comical. But our DPS keeps climbing. This is another great thing about lowsec belt ratting as an activity for new players. So much of the PvE in this game involves swarms of enemies and is thus best done in a long-range DPS platform, usually cruiser-sized or larger. But it takes a lot of SP to get good DPS out of those long-range weapon systems. In the belts, you're usually only fighting 1 or 2 large enemies at a time, and so you can make the most of the agility of frigates and destroyers, as well as the high DPS of the close-range weapon systems. Brutix Navy issue on scan. Oh shoot, Brutix Navy. Run away, run away. But blap as we run. It's a sound general lowsec policy. Retreat with guns blazing. Oh ding! We just got a ratting tick that put us to 82,783,807 ISK. That is above the 82,650,000 that we needed to buy all the blueprints we need to build our Thorax. However, let's jump ahead in time to when I'm back at dock in Manar, because I think we've got some bad news about our tritanium. Status update. Not counting the time we spent chasing that Epithal, we did a little bit over 2 hours of ratting on the weekend, and while our ISK profits from that outing were quite good, the tritanium situation is less than ideal. We did not really pull in any of those premium modules like the warp disruption field generators or the large guns, and so updating our spreadsheet, we've seen that maybe those first 2 outings actually were indeed outliers. Our spreadsheet, as you can see here, it showed before that we needed an estimated 2.5 hours to collect all of our remaining tritanium. Well, we did 2 hours, and now with the new numbers, our estimated time remaining to our tritanium goal is 2.2 hours, which is not backbreaking, but it is discouraging. Now, the good news is that we did quite a bit better on the loot front when we're talking about just, loot rather than tritanium specifically. Like, for example, we're now up to 9 blasters and 1 railgun in the medium size for our Thorax, and we have 2 sets of 3 blasters that even match. So our Thorax, unlike our Catalyst, won't have an entire rack of unmatched guns. The railgun is particularly exciting because we probably do want to have both a blaster and a railgun fit for the Thorax. And on the non-gun front, we also looted 2 of these meta cargo expanders, which is particularly exciting because obviously one of the things we need the Thorax for is to be able to field an ice drone and go ice mining, for which we'll need the cargo expanders to expand its cargo hold up to 1,000. And if we get enough meta cargo expanders, we might not need to buy a cargo expander blueprint, so that's welcome. But really, the situation right now is that our trit reserves are dire. So rather than heading straight back into the belts to keep trying what we've been trying before, I do have a new plan. When we were looking for Veldspar in Angel Sound, we tried finding asteroids in missions without a lot of success. But several people have commented that there are still asteroids in combat anomalies, apparently. So we're going to take Carmela on a tour of some of the less dangerous anomalies, and we're going to scope out while we're in there if there happens to be any asteroids. Feldspar, Scordite, I think Plagioclase has tritanium. I think we can check we'll check if we find some. And then Spodumane, but I don't think we'll find Spodumane. I don't think it spawns anywhere outside of nullsec. So let's see, we're in a hideaway. Holy crap! One and done. Okay, we're not going to shoot these guys because we don't want this hideaway to spawn. I was expecting this to be a much more involved process where we went to hideaways and burrows and yards, jumping around system to system. Okay, so if we complete the hideaway and warp out of it, it will despawn. So we can't do the combat and then come back with either mining lasers on Carmela or with mining lasers on Angela to mine in peace. Not an option. Peace is not an option when it comes to mining in anomalies. So instead, we're going to do something that you should probably never do. But for us, right now, it's the right thing. Okay, this is about the most embarrassing potential kill mail that you can imagine. 2 mining lasers, 4 blasters, 2 cargo hold expanders on a catalyst. But it's going to let us harvest that Veldspar. Let's see what our trip per hour is with the combat mining Carmela. I wish we could fit 4 scope mining lasers, but they're 65 CPU each, and CPU is not the catalyst's strong point. Let's make sure there's nobody. Scanner probes. I really don't want this fit to be the first one to appear on poor Bill's PvP killboard. I think he would never live it down. The site should still go pretty fast. It'd be hilarious if we get a faction spawn. Now, although even with just 4 guns, no gyro, no damage control, I feel pretty good about Carmela's chances against a potential hideaway faction frigate. We are still, honestly, just deleting these guys. That was a one-shot with 4 blasters. Didn't even web them. There we go. Oh no, not quite. One more. There we go. I think that is the site cleared. Now let's take another look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 asteroids. The site is despawned. It disappeared off of our probe scanner list, which means that the site now no longer officially exists. which is good news for making it harder for other players to potentially warp in on us and find us here. But it does mean that if we warp out, even if we bookmark this site, when we come back in, the asteroids and all of these other, bunkers and environmental effects will be gone. So we're going to mine this as quickly as we can. We're going to get one full Angela cargo load, which with the 2 cargo expanders means we have about 650 cubic meters available for tritanium, well, for Veldspar. And we're mining 116 cubic meters per second. Oh! More destroyers spawned at, 2 destroyers spawned at a significant delay. We'll let them fly over to us. So our first minute of mining is almost done. Once that happens, we'll take a look at how much Veldspar we actually collect in that first cycle. One 60-second cycle of mining lasers got us 1,150 Veldspar. So I think that we get 200 Veldspar per 200 titanium per 100 Veldspar. So this is actually like 2,300 titanium reprocessed, I think is how this works. So 2,300 per minute is about what we were estimating that we would get from the ratting when we had the higher numbers. Based on our first 2 outings, we were estimating that our trit per minute was 2,500, and that's what we're getting here. So I'm tempted to, after we fill up one load here, to see if we can't find a way to fit some more mining lasers on Carmela. See what our fitting possibilities are. We're getting some more mining capability on this ship, and then try this plan again. Find another hideaway somewhere nearby, and see if we can maybe get 4 mining lasers on and essentially double our trip per minute. I am gonna have to deal with these destroyers though. I wish we'd realized this back in the materials for war preparation days. This would have, as silly as this is, 1,000 Veldspar was all we needed back then. Nope, we don't want to shoot. We don't want to shoot the asteroid. 1,000 Veldspar was all we needed back then, and getting it in a hideaway would have been quite a bit easier than the whole rigmarole we went through flying into high-sec. There is a reason why, prior to this challenge, I had not mined an EVE Online in honestly over 10 years. Okay. Cargo hold is full. 6,553 Veldspar. Let's go back and see how much titanium that is. I know this seems like some movie magic, that I came up with this plan, undocked from the station, and then immediately warped to a site right in the same system and found all those Veldspar rocks. I promise I had not scoped this out in advance. I had just logged in, sat down, and was like, yeah, let's give it a try. There's no more hideaways in system, though. So whatever we get out of this, even if we fit more mining lasers, this, with our 2 cargo expanders, is going to be essentially the maximum amount that we can get from a single signature. So how much this reprocesses into is going to determine whether or not it's worthwhile for us to be hunting signatures. 13,000. I mean, we'll take it. And I'm glad we tried that. If we had a ship that could mine out that entire bunch of asteroids, if we had a Venture even, if we had a Venture right now, I would say, let's keep doing this. But as it stands now, our time is in fact, I guess, probably better spent going back to Plan A, belt ratting, which means going back to Fit A, full rack of blasters. Okay, Carmela's back in her regular party dress with 8 blasters and a mag stab. Let's go kill some battleships again. We've been killing quite a few of these Serpentis Chief Guards, and I haven't pointed out that these guys are actually flying in the Thorax model. So this absolute beauty is what we're hoping to find ourselves in soon enough. And also with these, like, asymmetric air vents, Galente ships are very strangely designed. Catalyst, actually, though, I think is one of the nicest looking of all the Galente ships. The Thorax I would not generally include in that list of the best looking Galente ships. I like the Catalyst. I like the Nemesis. Do not like this thing, the Dominic's model. No thank you. Thorax not so much either. But maybe it'll grow on us. It's certainly what we need right now. Let's just get a couple of quick glamour shots. I know that we have filmed plenty of Catalyst on Dominic's action, but one more can't hurt, right? Tumbling away below us. Now let's see what's in it. Let's just double check that these are not... Yeah, no Veldspar, no Scordite. Omber, Hemorphite, and Jaspit. Let's see what this guy had in his wreck. Okay. Making progress? Okay. 2 of those is a good start for our day. I've already pretty much matched all of the titanium we got from mining that hideaway. Another medium railgun. That's welcome. Limited light neutron. Oh, it matches one of our guns. Next time we dock up, we can get another gun group. That is truly exciting. Let's just find 6 more limited light neutron blasters. Oh, bingo! And that fills our hold up too, more or less. We'll stop back in Manar. What does this reprocess into? Come on, 6 figures. 57,000. Do a quick trit check. 438,000. Still a ways to go. Someone's already been ratting here. We can't loot their wrecks, but we can kill 2 battle cruisers. And we happily will. Oh, that's exciting. A meta magstab. More DPS. More DPS for Carmela. Wait a second. Wait a second. These are haulers. They have Executor ship models, but they're haulers. Do these guys drop minerals? Do these guys drop minerals? Serpentis Trucker? Serpentis Transporter? What do you have in there? What do you have in there? $1 million tritanium. Oh my goodness. I had my camera off, you couldn't see my face, but holy crap. $1 million tritanium. Holy crap, this changes everything. Now, how the hell are we going to get 10,000 cubic meters of titanium back to Manar?